In this video, I want to demonstrate a really short and quick method to set up your banjo. So say you're in right before a jam or a gig and you notice something is wrong with your banjo and it just does not sound like it should. You don't have a whole long time to set up, just like a short time. So this is going to be a really rough and dirty version of how to make your banjo sound good and what to check for right before you hit the stage. If you want a longer version, I have a 3-part video series that covers the whole tearing part of the banjo and everything. And if you want to know all the in-depth details, you can find it there. But this is just a quick, really quick rundown of how to set up your banjo. So the first thing to do to check is the head tight, and see how tight your head is, because if it's off a bit, that can really change the tone. So one of the quickest ways is just running your hand around here, make sure that none of the hooks are loose, because if one hook is loose, that's definitely going to cause a problem. Then you can use the dime and the 6-inch ruler. 6-inch rulers unfortunately are like really hard to find anymore, so I cut a piece of cardboard. An idea is stick it about near the center of your head, and it's about to the edge. It should about line up even, so it should be about level between the tension from your strings and your bridge pushing down to here. It's not a real precise method, but if you're in a hurry and you just want to make sure that nothing's super out of whack, that's a really quick step. For me, I like to use the drum dial. Drum dial is a very nice little piece of equipment. The little end on the bottom tells how much pressure is having resistance on it, and then you just go around the rim of your banjo, and then the dial will go and tell you exactly how much you have. For me, I personally like to have it set at 90 or slightly higher, but that's your own personal preference that you find beforehand, and then just set it up to that. The other thing that can happen, and you might not notice it directly off the bat, is possibly when your banjo was in its case, the bridge got shifted. Because the bridge there should be a distance between the top fret and the 12th fret. Should be the same from the 12th fret to here. And sometimes it can be shifted during travel or put in the case, or you bumped it. The best method is you take the precise measurement from here to the 12th fret, and then again to here, and make a mark on the head with like a pencil or pen where your bridge should be at. Because then but before you do that, you make sure it's there, and then you fine tune it, which that's where you need a good tuner. So you should be able to find a note and make sure your string is it's really hard with this one. But make sure your string is on tune, and then your chime on the 12th fret should be the same too. If it's not, you might have to adjust your bridge either closer or farther away. So either move it this way or that way, depending on if it's flat or if it's sharp, the chime, compared to the open string. Then mark your spot where your bridge is at, and that way if it does become bumped or anything, you can easily tell and say, okay, it's not in line, and shift your bridge to the line. Those are the main steps if something's out of whack. Another thing to check too is neck relief, which you can tell how high the strings are here, because there's a truss rod in most banjos. Some cheap banjos do not, or starter banjos don't, but most professional or intermediate banjos do have a truss rod in it, and that's usually adjusted right directly through here. And say if your strings are buzzing down around here, because that's what it does, is it moves the neck and adjusts the difference of height of the strings kind of by the 12th and 10th fret. So if it's really low, it's might buzz, but if it's too high, it's going to make playing really difficult. And you might have to adjust that. And that's done with Allen wrench that usually should come with your banjo or is easily found in a hardware store. And that's kind of the really rough setup for if you are crunched on time and something just does not sound right and you need to fix it. Those are the main things to check. Check to see if your head is the proper tension all around. Check to see if your bridge is in place, because if that's off, you'll tune in and you'll be like, oh, and it will just throw up what you're tuning in and will not sound right at all. And your neck relief. That's more if it's really hard to play. You can play if your neck relief is off to a certain extent. If it's too low, you can't because it'll buzz, but if it's high, it just becomes hard to press on strings. And hopefully that sort of helps you. If you want an in-depth version, I have videos already on my channel with that, but this is a really quick rundown that hopefully will help you in a jam situation or a gig situation where you need something quick and you need it now. So I want to thank you for watching and hope you enjoy. Thank you. Bye.